There we go.
Particles.
Can I tell you something, Tony?
Don't pretend like I got a choice. Particles. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, everybody, right back into it. I feel like I just turned the mic off 10 minutes ago. Like we did our night flight last night, had a very long, drawn-out show with our brother Johnny Lund. Shout out to the Bay Area Sports Collective. Always great to hang out with Jumpin' Johnny Lund. And today, Tony, as I say good morning to you, I look over, I see the class is already assembled. You guys are very obedient students. I got to say, you're not like I was, dude. Giving my teachers heart attacks, forcing them into retirement. That was my MO as a student. You guys are much better behaved than I am. Couple of quick announcements, Tony, because there's so much going on today that has to be addressed.
Yes.
For starters, going to start the show out with a couple of birthday shout outs. And we don't normally do this, but today's a special day, so let's get into it. For start, my buddy Jeff Winkler, who I see on the freaking comments line already lined up. How you doing today, Winks? Let me first say happy birthday to you, Jeff Winkler.
Dude, yes.
You
Dude, happy birthday, Winks.
It's one of these things. Now, also celebrating a birthday today, my youngest son, James. Happy birthday, James, dude. I love you. Dude. I can't wait to see you at Tommy's graduation. I miss you. We'll be hanging out soon. And guess what, Tony, my kid, James, he's 21 now. So now we're going to be having like an official drink, father-son style at the bar.
What's that going to be? Like, have you thought about what that will be? Like just a regular beer? Is it a
James
shot?
Probably going to go. No, he's probably. I don't want to put him under the table. You know what I mean? He's an innocent kid, but I'm going to probably have a couple of beers with him. Rags checking in. Nice. Happy birthday, Rags. Now, and here's the other thing. With my son James, he actually gave me this Kiss shirt that I'm wearing as a gift a couple of years ago. So James, I celebrate you today. Happy birthday, my beloved son. Happy birthday to Rags' son. Rags' son, dude. It's a convergence of birthdays in the Polymac particle universe.
Wow, that's cosmic. That's really cosmic. Wow,
but it's not that different from Tony and I with our dads and our birthdays, because Tony, me, Tony's dad, and my dad all celebrate birthdays in about a tight 1 week window.
In the same week, yeah, the 16th, the 18th, and the 23rd. Boom.
And 24th. My dad's the 24th. You're the 23rd.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And my goddaughter Sophia is on the 24th as well. It's all cosmic, dude.
Check this. You want some cosmic? Check this out. I remember being at an Other One show with Creative Tony in 1998, 7/24/98, Shoreline Amphitheater. The band opened. I'll never forget this. It was a really good band too. Phil Lesh, Bob Weir, Mickey Hart, John Molo, Steve Kimaka on guitar, Bruce Hornsby on piano. And we're at the show. Great night, great show. And it went Hell in a Bucket, Dark Star to open the show. And Tony looked at me during Dark Star and he goes, "You know what? My niece is being born right now. She's being born during Dark Star," which, by the way, is a real blessing from the Grateful Dead gods, dude. If you enter this earth,
I've talked to my niece about that show. I've showed her the ticket. I've shown her the ticket stub, and I said, I'm gonna give you that show, so she has the show.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Are you kidding me? This is when I was born." I said, "Yes, this is what was going on in the musical universe in the Bay Area when you came into the world, dude." It's so cool. Thanks for bringing that up, P. Hey, also on birthdays, another really good birthday today that your James shares, and Winks shares, and Rags' son. What's Rags' son's name? Do we know Rags' son's name?
Well, is it Anthony Rags? Today's Anthony's birthday, right? Because he's got two sons. I think it's Anthony. Yeah.
Anthony.
Dude, Anthony.
So it's funny, man. I'm an Anthony. I'm technically an Anthony, but I chose Tony, and I broke my mom's heart when I told her, Mom, can you just call me Tony?
Nah, Tony's good. Tony, you are Tony. You got no choice in the matter, bro. You are Tony, like it or not. Yeah.
But Will Clark, dude. Will Clark is 61 today.
Is he really?
Happy birthday. Yes. Happy birthday, Will Clark. Happy birthday, James McCaffrey. And happy birthday to Anthony Rags. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, it's Christian. Okay, my bad. It's not Anthony. It's his other son, Christian. I get confused myself. There's so many of them going on today. It's Christian Jr., Christian Narag Jr.'s birthday today. Happy birthday to Junior Rags. And,
and also it's Will Clark's 61st birthday. And I didn't know we were going to do this to start the show because we haven't even gone through the set list yet.
I know.
It's also Adam Clayton, bass player of U2's 65th birthday today.
Damn, you know what, dude? Thanks for bringing that up. And I'm going to say something controversial right out of the gate here. You know what? When the smoke clears, dude, after all has been said and done, and you look at U2's catalog and their career, and I'm a fan, I've seen them many, many times. I got to tell you, Tony, I think Adam Clayton might be the coolest guy in that band. On a sneaky down low level.
Yes. Not Larry. See, I've always thought Larry Mullen.
I'm saying it's Clayton. Mullen. Clayton doesn't give a shit, dude. He's up there. He's he's 6'6". He's got his glasses on.
Well, dude,
he's just
yeah. Ever since I heard "Bullet the Blue Sky" with the drums of "Bullet the Blue Sky," I was like, wait a second.
It's a good song. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a thunder, dude. And so Mullen's always been the cool cat for me. And of course, the Edge. The only thing about the Edge is like, I feel like the Edge kind of maybe have like a follicle issue where he never takes his hat off.
Well, there's no question. I mean, he's got the ski hat on. Yeah.
Tell me if you've ever seen the Edge in the last 20 years without a skull cap on.
I'll tell you the last time. So the first, I can't believe this is where we're going today, but I'll do it because we got a lot. I got a lot to say on this. I can talk all day about this. So, but you're asking, I'll give you the answer that you're looking for. If you guys bear with us on the comments line. So I saw U2. The first time I saw them was on the Unforgettable Fire tour, and that was an amazing show. Probably the best U2 show I ever saw. Tony, did
they play the song Bad? Did they play Bad?
They played like a 20-minute version of Bad at that show. I'm not exaggerating. Yeah. It was freaking amazing. And I was a sophomore in high school. And at that point on that tour, the Edge was still rocking just his natural flow. He didn't have a hat on.
Correct.
But then when they came back for Joshua Tree, he's been hatting up ever since. He's been hatting up since 87. So, dude, yeah.
Hey, man, as a bald man, I've got like bald radar. You know what I mean? Where I can tell people that maybe should just go shave their heads. People that that struggle
bald radar
going bald. You know, people that struggle with going bald. I can detect hair plug. I can detect hair plugs from 20 feet away, dude. I can detect them. Even with scientific advances today, I can detect them.
Yeah, you got bald radar. Yeah, I like that, T. I like that. So I want to get into today's
Baldar, dude, Baldar.
Yeah, Baldar. It's Baldar. Sounds like a character from like Lord of the Rings. Who awaits? It's Baldar. You know what I mean? Sounds like
it's Lord Baldar.
Oh, Lord Baldar asks you to sit down for the ceremonial hookah smoke. You know what I mean? Baldar, dude. We're creating our. Hey, Tom, can you give me a sketch on our character Baldar? That's our newest.
So hold on, we've got Hans Lufa, and by the way, NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC. We will dissect that song at some point. I promise you, Paulie and I promise you, because we both love the freaking reggae tune you made for us. But we've got Hans Lufa.
Jesus Christ, I know. Go ahead, T. Sorry.
Yes. No, but we have Hans Lufa, and now we have Lord Baldar. So we're creating fictional characters as we go. So that's part of the PMP army.
I know. Sorry. Okay, so more special announcements before we launch the show today. I have my good friend Carlos De La Fuente. He's going to join us in a few minutes today to speak. I think it'd be good for him to like talk to our audience using his own, words, his own language, his own speak to talk about flex funding. So instead of doing a flex funding spot now, we'll do one in like 10 minutes when Carlos joins us. I think it'd be cool. Just introduce him because you're going to see him. Hopefully you're going to see him on the opening day party at Longbridge because he was texting me yesterday, Tony, and he was like, I'm going to really try to make it. I got to arrange some stuff in my schedule, but I just want to introduce Carlos to all of y'all. So we'll get to flex funding in a minute. Tony, on the sporting tip, we got a big night tonight at Chase Center. Steph Curry.
Yeah, we do.
Is 2 3-point shots shy of hitting his 4,000th career three-pointer. That's pretty staggering. It's hard to even do the math on that to compute that 4,000. Tony, go.
It's pretty ridiculous, but I think if we're going to go through the set list of the show, I feel like we should, do it a proper. I feel like if we're going to
okay, well then cue Takashi if you could. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. Takashi's theme song.
Yeah, get it going. There you go.
So if you could tell us what we're looking at today, T. What are we looking at in terms of the set list?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, Curry's 4,000th. That's a hard thing to say.
You're good. You're good.
Three-pointer, and also Kuminga's making his return to the Dubs. It's very interesting. I feel like it's kind of an understated thing happening with the Dubs universe. Also, we're going to talk some more Niners too. We kind of glossed over the Joey Bosa, and also like the weird love affair between Kyle Shanahan and Mac Jones. Like there's something just odd to me.
I guess he's finally done with Kirk Cousins, and now he's moving on to Mac Jones because he's had a crush on Kirk Cousins since day one. I'm like, dude, can we stop with Kirk Cousins?
Right.
I don't see it. Shanahan, there's always been this thing like beneath the surface where you think like, or I've heard this where, Shanahan thinks Kirk Cousins is like the ideal quarterback to run his offense. I'm like, dude, please, no. I don't want Kirk Cousins coming out here with his, with his prayers and all that shit, man. I want a street fighting. Actually, we got a prayer saying quarterback right now in Brock Purdy. And I got nothing against prayers. I'm just saying I like a street fighting, whiskey drinking, Kenny Stabler snake kind of quarterback if I had my choice.
If I could say, Paulie, just to quote Simon Le Bon, dude, save a prayer to the morning after, right? Okay. So or you could say just like a prayer. You want to go like a prayer, Madonna.
Or I can go back to your original one and say, I'll leave the morning after. Shout out Rat out of the cellar. I'll leave the morning after. That's Stephen Piercy's MO when it comes to lovemaking. I'll leave the morning after. You know what I mean? He's letting you know right out of the gate. Don't expect to see me come the morning. When you're making coffee, I'll be out the door. All right, Tony.
Shout out to Stephen Piercy and Warren DeMartini on like the Monsters of Rock or Monsters of some kind of rock cruise right now. They're like gigging on a cruise ship right now.
Bro,
and I keep seeing posts of the people on this cruise ship. I want to be on this cruise ship.
How are they looking?
They look phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I feel like the over under of the percentage of black t-shirts worn on the entire cruise ship is probably about a 93%.
That's me, dude. I'm a black t-shirt guy every damn day.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Didn't you say Garcia always used to just wear plain black t-shirts because that was just like what I just need something on my body. That's all I need.
You're giving all the tricks of the trade away. This is exactly what I'm dead serious about this. I never really say this, but the reason that I wear black t-shirts every day is because Jerry Garcia wore a black t-shirt on stage every time I saw him. And you know who else does that? Henry Rollins. Every time I see Henry Rollins, he's always got the black tee. Like, I just like that. Strip it down, pure black. That's it. Yes.
We're also going to get Tony's top three in honor of Christian Rags' birthday. We're going to do a top three because Rags is probably leads the Tony's top three militia, and then bookmarks. We'll get into some bookmarks, and then we'll wrap it up and we'll call it a day, Paulie.
I think you're forgetting one thing. Sorry, Tony. I think you're forgetting one thing. Aren't we doing Paulie Max out of the closet Thursday as well?
Oh yeah, sorry. No, close in the attic, out of the closet, whatever we want to call it. Yes, we're going to do that as well. Yes.
Okay, so Tony, I'm sorry.
I said I apologize. I forgot the clothes in the attic because I have my relic, my article of clothing right to my right as we speak.
I do too. Mine is to my right too, and I think you're going to get a big kick out of what I'm bringing to the show today in terms of my clothes in the attic thing. Now, Tony, I wanted to also try something I've never done before, and I want to include the viewers and the listeners in this because tomorrow is Friday. It's our high noon broadcast.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have Rod Brooks joining us. I look forward to that. Always great to hang and talk to Brooksy about anything. We can talk to Brooksy about anything. But I got to tell you that I want to share. We've never done this before. It's never been done before. I want to share the musical assignment with the listeners today. And I want to so you guys come in with your contributions tomorrow. So in light, and we've never telegraphed our punches like this a day ahead of time, but I want to try it this week. So because there are so many 49ers walking out the damn door this week, like guys that we love, dude. I love Juszczyk. I love Greenlaw especially. That's the one I'm really having a hard time with, man. And I think it's a legitimate concern. Now, I don't know what Greenlaw has left physically. We're going to find out when we watch him in Denver. And that doesn't sit well with me, dude, that he's up in Denver. Like, I don't like it. I just don't like it.
I love the geographic region of Denver. I'm just not a Broncos fan. That's all. Right?
No, neither am I, dude. I'm not a Bronco fan at all, and nor have I.
Do you think Drake Greenlaw will get physical with an F, Paulie? I'm just curious because you said he's going to get physical.
I hope so.
Or what's the better physical? Physical with an F by Mike Singletary or Olivia Newton-John's physical?
I got to go Singletary on that one. I got to go Coach Singletary every time. Yeah. With an F. Yeah. But guys, the musical assignment for tomorrow, Tony, grab a pen, jot this note down. I'm saying we are going to celebrate. We're not celebrate, but we'll look at songs that have to do with leaving or saying goodbye. Yeah, because that's what we're doing. We're watching the Niners leave and we're saying goodbye. Now, Tony, there's a million choices here.
The gate,
farewell songs, leaving, goodbye, I'm leaving town. You can go all day. Yeah.
Dude, Patty from Napa would probably like me singing "Never Say Goodbye."
Dude, nice sound bot. Give me another verse. Keep it coming.
Never say goodbye.
Yeah, dude. Bye. Yeah, dude. Bye. Dude. Totally. And then he had that dude. He came out with that record called New Jersey. I was like, dude, you are freaking killing me, dude. This is what the world is going to think when they see New Jersey. They're going to think about this guy. Never say goodbye. Dude, great call, Tony.
I don't even remember some of the lyrics, man.
You don't need to. You don't need to. Sorry, Patty. It's all love. You know that. It's all love.
Of course, we love Patty. Hey, Sanchi's checking in with a wonderful super. What's up, Sanchi? Should we add mini camp tryouts to the March 27th Fest itinerary with 49er roster thinning out? Maybe we should have some reinforcements in the PMP
Army. I got some ballers over here. I know Rags can play, obviously. So, yeah, sure, man.
Nice.
We'll set up a hitting. Dude, we should do, Tony? We should have like a tackling sled set up and just let our listeners fire off a snap and just start hitting the the sleds.
That's not a bad call. That's not a bad call.
Someone's going to have to bring the sleds in, though. I don't happen to have a nice Matt Stenson. Say goodbye to romance. That's a great track by Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for the super, Sanchi.
Yeah, Sanchi, thank you so much, my brother. And so, Tony, as we get ready to get into the weekend and stuff, I want our listeners to participate this week. So if you have good songs, just bring them tomorrow. Bring them to the air tomorrow. Just line them up, and we'll go over all that stuff. So, Tony,
also, Paulie, let's get Rod Brooks involved in the musical assignment tomorrow as well.
100%. 100%.
Okay, cool.
Brooksy, one of the things I love most about Rod Brooks is he's a music lover, like right on par with Tony and I. Can talk fluently about any number of styles and genres. Rod Brooks, by the way, I always got a kick out of this. Known on the streets as a bona fide Motorhead fan.
Oh, dude, I saw Motorhead with Brooksy at the Warfield. It was outrageous.
I'm going to take a guess and say loudest show you've ever seen.
I was just going to say it was the loudest show I've ever been to, and it was pummeling my chest. It was so, I mean, it was so, and I've never heard a bass guitar because that's what Lemmy played. I've never heard the bass amplified as much as I've heard the bass amplified at a Motorhead show, and there's a lot of distortion when he plays too. And it was just like that, and Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Those two shows are probably the loudest shows I've ever seen, both at the Warfield, by the way. So
you saw Crazy Horse at the Warfield?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Is that 93? Like 92, 93? Something
yeah.
That's incredible. I remember that. Wow, good for you, dude. That was a loud show. I never saw Crazy Horse, believe it or not.
Dude, speaking of loud shows and bookmarks later, we're gonna revisit the Tibetan Freedom concert at Golden Gate Park, because my buddy Greg sent my text thread of great Fishhead and Deadheads a video from the Tibetan Freedom concert that we got to share later. It's pretty wild stuff.
Were you at the Tibetan show? At Golden Gate Park? You were?
Yeah, which was just it was just mayhem.
Was that at the polo field?
Yeah, it's mayhem.
And where were you in terms of the stage and like where you were in the crowd? Where were you?
I was, I guess what you would say, I was Mike's side, as they say, for Fish, or that would it be who would it be on in the Dead? That would be Phil's side. No, it wouldn't be Phil's side. Anyway, stage left I was. Stage left would be Keys, right? For the Dead. Weren't the Keys always set up on the left?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Anyways, so I was kind of back a ways because, dude, you had to want it, man, if you wanted to get up front in that crowd.
Right. I know.
You had to want it. It's kind of like when you go to, like, I don't know, like a Niner playoff game or a Dubs playoff game or a Giants playoff game. You got to just tip your cap to those that are there early and up front, because they wanted it more than I did. You wanted it more than I did. So anyway.
Wow. Dude, when you talking Damone right now, maybe the worst thing you could say to a girl in that situation.
Totally.
You wanted it more than
You wanted it more than I did. Sorry, man.
I believe he just pulled that out, dude. And he's also irritated because he's trying to make a cheap trick sale while his girlfriend's like, by the way, I'm pregnant. He's like, hang on, I'm trying to sell cheap trick tickets. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hold your horses. Yeah.
Hey, dude, go ahead, Polly, but I want to get Los has entered the green room. He's enjoying all the refreshments that we put out for him.
Well, good.
So he actually like signaled to me, like, hold on, wait a second, Tony, because I'm enjoying my refreshments. There's a bowl of nuts. He just picked up a bowl of nuts that he's enjoying right now too. So the lemongrass tea that we put out there, So he'll be joining us momentarily.
Yeah, I want to do that today. That's what I was saying. If you're just hopping on board, good afternoon, good day, everybody. Great to have you on board. Thanks for supporting the show. Whether you're a super or just a regular viewer, we love you guys so much, and thanks for all the support. I do want to have Carlos join us, Tony, because he's our newest sponsor. We love the partnership. And Carlos is he's a good dude. Like, he's a good dude. And I want people in the audience to get to know him a little bit. So bring him in. Bring in Carlos, dude, because I want to talk.
There he is.
Everybody, look at my guy, dude. Look at my guy. Carlos De La Fuente, everybody. Welcome to Polymac Particles, Carlos. How you doing today, brother?
What's good, boys? You guys are crazy. I love it. I love it. Good morning. Good morning, PMP Army.
Yeah, that's it. The Army. Now, Carlos, before we get into flex funding and stuff, and I do want to talk about that, let's just kick it around for a second. Do you have any updates on your status for the opening day party March 23rd? Because I'd love to have you there if possible.
I'm in.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
dude, I love it.
I'm
nice.
in, definitely. I'm not going to miss that for sure.
Awesome, Carlos. And by the way, what are you rocking on your shirt? Who is that?
Well, it's funny you guys say that. Like, literally, I was bugging out last night and this morning about, like, what am I going to wear on the show? Because you only have one opportunity and one chance to make a first impression.
Good call,
you guys
bro.
know me. You guys know me, but the Army does not know me as of yet. So it's like, okay, do I go with the casual polo, kind of business shirt? And I'm like, no, you know what? Polly's Particles is all about sports, music, and pop culture.
That's right.
So it came down to three choices. It was either the Top Gun Best of the Best with the Iceman on it.
Oh, dude.
I was gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Choice number 2 was the Bada Bing Sopranos shirt, which
I have one of those too. That's a killer shirt. Tony, you gave me one of those years ago. It's a great shirt, man. Yeah.
Sopranos I was gonna rock that.
Hell yeah.
The Bada Bing.
Bada Bing, bada boom.
Because Sopranos was a big part of the morning show with
no doubt.
Mark and Mac, a
no
lot
doubt.
of quotes and things.
Yeah.
But, it does have a silhouette of a naked woman, so I didn't want to offend
you don't upset anybody,
any ladies in the show. So I'm going with the Sonny from A Bronx Tale.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude.
Now you just can't leave.
Dude. You should.
That's such a great scene, dude. Great scene.
That's literally one of my favorite movies of all time.
Hey, Carlos, you got to learn to talk like this. You got to learn to talk with the horns up when you're talking.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Los, you just nailed. That's one of my top 5 movies of all time too, man. That I love A Bronx Tale, man. That is incredible. And Claude Giroux, shout out Claude Giroux, dude.
It's very underrated.
Yes.
Ned Colletti is the former GM of the Giants, GM of the Dodgers. We had him on our show and we interviewed him. And, I like to ask questions that are just non-typical sports related.
Yeah.
And he's about as Italian as it gets. So I asked him point blank. I said, Ned, Goodfellas or Bronx Tale?
It's a good one. Yeah.
And he looked up and he goes, Bronx Tale. And I go, yes. Because most people, I think most people will go Goodfellas.
Yep.
And that's okay. Both great movies.
There's
something that resonates about Bronx Tale, the lessons that are,
yes, the lessons. Yeah. And it tugs on the heartstrings big time. Especially
if working man is a tough guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's my son. He's not your son. Yeah, and all this stuff.
Hey, Paulie, I want to compliment Los on his Yomiuri Giants hat you're rocking today too, dude. The Tokyo Giants hat. That is a beautiful looking hat. I mean, well done on that respect too, man. And you just got back from Japan too, right?
Yeah, that's where I bought it. I picked it up over there.
You know what, Carlos? Tell me something, man. Because that's right. So Carlos and I, with Tony, we had a few meetings about having Carlos join us as a sponsor with Flex Funding, and we're so happy to have you. But right as we're getting ready to launch, Carlos is like, "Guys, hang on, because I'm on my way to Japan." I'm like, "Wow, this guy's going global." So you went over to Japan. You're back now. Obviously, we got the Flex Funding up and running. But tell me, if you could tell our listeners and us about what was your favorite part of Japanese culture that is something like you don't get in the United States? Or what was the favorite custom or cultural thing you experienced over there?
Mutual respect of people.
See,
human,
hear that?
Human to human. Just every hour, every day. It's just a lot of bowing. Just they're very non-confrontational people, and it's refreshing. So I love that as far as the culture goes.
Yeah.
There were different areas. Tokyo's got over 30 million people, so it's crazy. And you don't rent a car when you go over there. You're riding the subway, and the subways is I hate to say it, but it's not BART. It's a little advanced. Very luxurious. Knock on Bart, been around since 77 or 75, maybe. Love it.
Nice.
But but Bullet Train, everything over there, just the cultural. It has the contrast of being very modern when you're going to Shibuya in Tokyo, but then it has the old school temples that you go to and you do a little prayer or get a fortune read, and people are wearing their kimonos. So along with Thailand, best food I've had. And
man.
Hey, I'm a San Francisco native, guys. I gotta have good food when I travel. So
dude,
if I'm going to another country for over a week, you better have good food. And
tell me, how about the sake? Did you drink some Japanese wine and stuff like that?
My buddy that I went with was that's Japanese and has a lot of business clients over there. Took me to a private event, and the chef rolled out a $1,500 bottle of sake.
Ooh.
Needless to say, it was the best sake I've ever had. We had 2 bottles. Your boy got a little bit.
That's what happens. No, that's what happens.
But it was a great time. Yeah.
Hey, on the sake tip, was it cold or hot? Because most of the time I'm told that cold is more traditional over in Japan, the cold sake versus hot sake. Was it cold or hot for you?
I only like cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same.
I think I've tried hot a couple of times. I mean, I guess if it's really, really cold, it's refreshing. But no, I like the cold sake. It's just smooth.
Yeah. Me too. I agree.
You gotta sip it. I want to drink it down a little bit.
I can tell you from experience too, that hot sake delivers a hangover straight from the depths of hell. You don't want any part of that. And then you the next day you can still feel the heat kind of. It's like, oh man, what did I do to myself? So I think you took the right choice with the cold sake. So Carlos, as we get closer to baseball season, we got the Warriors tonight at Chase Center. Just to let our listeners and viewers know who you are. If you had to power rank your 3 Bay Area teams, we'll go Giants, Niners, Warriors, who's your most passionate? And we'll start there. Because I know you're a big baseball guy. You go to spring training and stuff. Are you Giants 1?
That's a great
It's tough. No, it's tough. Yeah.
We actually brought that up on our show, Paulie, and we took it a step further, and we said if one organization had to leave the Bay Area, Warriors, Giants, or 49ers, one had to leave. They had to relocate. Who are you letting go? And the vote was slightly the Giants.
Wow.
And I was like, God, you can't. I mean, if any of them leave, it's like saying, hey, which of your 3 kids you're going to let go? I mean, it's just you love all 3 of them. So it's really tough. I mean, having been a baseball and basketball player, I'm naturally attached to those 2 organizations, but there's something about the 49ers that brings out so much passion because I was a freshman in high school when they won their first Super Bowl.
Nice.
That was my first because the Warriors in 75, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
But that was my first opportunity to actually, be a fan of a team that won a championship.
Yeah.
And to be able to wear a, championship shirt. I didn't wear NFC West champions, or I didn't wear National League champions, or, it had to be a world champion to rock a shirt or a hat. So I think the 49ers slightly, guys. But it's close because I truly love the game of baseball. Is very romantic to me. I don't know if that's not the greatest word, but there's just something about baseball that's so different. That's why I'm not crazy, big fan of the pitch clock and all that.
Same.
It's why are you speeding up the game?
Right. Right.
That's for the casuals, the true baseball fans that love the game. We'll sit there for a double header. We'll sit 7 hours of baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, the more the better.
Los, I used to say that my biggest point of arguing in favor of baseball was that there was no clock, and now there is a clock, and
it's unfortunate
because it stinks because I loved being hey, it's 9 innings. We're gonna play 9 innings today. I don't know how long it's gonna take, and I don't care. Right?
Hey, I got on that note. Let me ask you guys another question. But before I do, Tony, if you could you get Escobar the third up on the screen because he's a super and he's kind of connected to Los in the Bronx Tale here. So see if you can find him and throw him up there.
Love it. There it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
Is it better to be loved or feared? Carlos, I'll let you handle this, being the Bronx Tale expert that you are. It's a great question. Better to be loved or feared. Yeah.
I'm rocking with Sonny and agreeing with him on that because you're going to have loyalty when you're feared.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to be both, but we've all kind of been there where we've been so quote unquote loved, and they weren't around later. So fear makes people do things that necessarily they don't want to do. So
I got to tell you the truth, you guys. I would love to be feared, but there's nobody in the world that fears Paulie Mack. I'm telling you that right now. I can speak from experience. People come up to me, they give me hugs, you know what I mean? They give me high fives, but I don't think any of these guys fear me. One more, and thank you, Escobar. Thank you very much.
I have a question for Los too, Paulie. I have a question for Los too when you're done.
Okay, so actually, this one's for both of you guys, and it's my final baseball question. Then, Tony, you get one in, and then we'll get into Flex Funny because I want Carlos to speak in his own voice about it. But how do you guys feel about robo-umps? Because it's a thing now. They're using it in spring training. Like, yeah, I'm with you, Tony. Go ahead, Los.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
again, it's kind of like the pitch clock. It's just like leave the game alone. You know what I miss with instant replay? Even I miss umpires and managers getting into it.
Me too.
We were at the stick seeing Lasorda get into it with umpires and throwing a fit and then having to walk down the first base line and go into the tunnel and down the right field.
The best
kisses at everybody.
Yeah.
And then Lou Piniella and hey, Frank Robinson used to get into it.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
So Billy Martin back in the day kicking dirt on guys. I mean, it was a show. It was like a show in the game. Yeah.
It was, it was a sport, but it was also entertainment. So I really miss that aspect. So going to the robo-umps again makes it more analytical, makes it too statistical. Leave the game alone.
I'm with you.
But it's probably going to go that way regardless.
Go ahead.
Which stinks. Well, you're just taking the human element out of the game, and the game is so pure before that, and mistakes are going to be made in every sport, like in football, where they're putting whether they put the chip in the ball or whether they however they're going to do the new first down measurement next season. I get that because there is so much going on so fast in football. Where baseball, it's a slower game. They have the time. They can
let it breathe.
You have instant replay, fine. You have instant replay for out calls, safer out calls. But for actual balls and strikes, I mean, that's ridiculous. And having an ump behind the plate, it's just a vibe thing too. Now, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to get rid of the ump altogether behind the plate, or is it going to be like the human says it's the strike, the robot or the whatever says it's a ball, we're going to go with the robot? That just stinks. And then it's a slippery slope too. Once you go down that slope, it's just a slippery slope. And I just want to see the human element stay in the game. That's all.
Hey, speaking of human element, Tony, I got to shout out our friends on the comment line one more time. See, they're already starting to embrace you, Los. Here we go. Richard De Leon. Did you see this guy, Tony? Richard De Leon. Carlos has a very young Vin Diesel look going right now, dude. Phenomenal call. Phenomenal. I'll take that, dude. If somebody compared me to Vin Diesel, I'd take that 10 times out of 10. Have you ever been called a Vin Diesel lookalike before? Is today the first time?
Not at all. Thank you, Richard. But I am anything but young. but I will take that. I'll lay out in the sun a little bit more, and maybe I'll get closer to that.
But this
Los, also Don Peralta, one of our listeners and viewers, says a robot ump will not stare down Mad Bum like they are at the OK Corral at high noon.
See?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great call.
Perfect, Dom. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect call because you're not going to get that. That's what pisses me off.
I think when they put a clock on that, Tony, I think that went on for, I think top of my head, it was 11 seconds of Joe West and Bumgarner just staring at each other. Nobody moved.
The best.
It was incredible.
The best.
Yeah.
Hey, Los, before we get into flex funding, how do you feel about Mac Jones? How do you feel about the Mac Jones signing?
I mean, people that know me, as far as my opinions, because I'm not a homer. I'm tough love. Like I am with my kids. When they do great, they're always going to get pats on the back, give them support. But when they mess up, I'm going to get on them.
They're going to know. Yeah,
Shanahan has his loves and has his passion about certain players, like the point of like Kirk Cousins, like Paulie was mentioning, ridiculous. Like for so long, and he's loved Mac Jones. I think reading between the lines, he always wanted him, and I think the fan base, if you remember, was really pushing back. Like, wait a minute, you traded 3 first-round picks to move up to 3 to take Mac Jones.
Yeah,
like, he's limited in his play. Now, I will say I like him as a backup. I like him at $7 million over 2 years. I didn't want him as a franchise quarterback at all, and it's kind of played out that way. He is limited. He doesn't have great mobility. He doesn't have a big arm. Shanahan's interesting because he likes CJ Beathard too, which like that didn't work. And the one guy he didn't like was Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know that story. Lynch was at Patrick Mahomes' workout day and said, "Hey, I think we may need to change our philosophy about drafting D-line." And Kyle's like, "No, I got Kirk Cousins coming next year."
Oh,
so, like, I don't know. Shanny's cool, but like judging quarterbacks, maybe we need to question that a little bit. But no, I like Mike Jones' long-winded answer. I like him as a backup. Solid.
Oh, I love the answer. And by the way, see, this might be a good segue into flex funding too, Paulie, because you see the homework that Lowe's does, and
Lowe's knows, and that's why I wanted him to. Yeah, that's why I wanted him to talk a little sports first. Let people know who this guy is. Yeah.
And before I talk about flex funding, I have to ask you guys this because I know you're Soprano honks.
Yeah.
Who of the cast had the best?
Okay, I can answer that immediately. I'm jumping in. I'm not wasting.
I want to hear your opinions. Who had the best?
I'm going to say Paulie Walnuts. I'm going to say Paulie Walnuts because there's one I can think top of my head. They were all sitting down at Artie Bucco's restaurant. They are literally just being seated, and Paulie looks at the table and he goes, "Artie, menus." Oh, and he like snaps his finger. There's something about the walnuts. Oh, and then a couple times, like when Christopher would piss him off, he wouldn't even let Christopher finish his sentence. He'd be like, "Chrissy, oh."
Yeah. It was a sarcastic like questioning what you're saying. And then Sil had a quick one, like, "Oh." Tony had a long one. Like
his was a long one.
Yeah. You used to use that one. Oh,
who do you got? Who do you got, Tony? Who's your best?
Well, I also like Christopher Moltisanti's isn't an O, but it's more like a whoa tone. Like that, he'd give you like the whoa tone. Like whenever he knew he fucked up, he's like, whoa, tone. But, I would have to go Paulie Walnuts as well, but I loved Tony's just drawn out O's, that's how I felt too. And
great question.
No wrong answer there.
No, there really isn't. There's no wrong answer. It's all subjective, man. So from that into this, the reason that we have Carlos as a sponsor is so he can talk about his company, Flex Funding. So here you go. All the contact information is right in front of you guys. If you're listening and not watching, let me read it to you. 925-250-4894. That's Carlos's phone number. Give him a shout. Or I know Carlos is a big email guy. Hit him up at carlos@myflexnow.com. And again, like we've been presenting Carlos's services by simply asking our viewers, listen, if you're in a situation where you need a loan, Carlos is a guy that you can talk to comfortably. Obviously, as we're demonstrating today, he's very easy to talk to. And he's got 26 years of experience, which to me, Carlos, means a lot because if I'm going to get involved in any kind of financial project or endeavor, I want to make sure that the person I'm working with has experience, knows the roadmap, and that would definitely, you qualify as checking those boxes. And you're a San Francisco native. I think that's important to people too. It's not like you're some guy from out of town who doesn't understand Bay Area economics. You certainly do. And I know that you're very, passionate about putting your clients in the best financial place that they possibly can be with your guidance and help. So beyond loans, and I know you specialize in HELOC loans, Carlos, that's the home equity line of credit, but I thought this would be a good chance for you to just kind of speak to that, talk about HELOCs a little bit, and maybe I have some questions I'll ask you, but just to introduce your services, Carlos, I'll just hand the mic over to you.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate it. Flex Funding we're a mortgage broker, so I have access to, tons of loan products. So when I say I'm a one-stop shop, that definitely is the case. Right now, HELOCs are a hot market right now because most people that have a house or bought a house somehow got it at a low rate when the pandemic hit. They're in the 2s and 3s. They're not going to touch that. But people always need money for one reason or another.
Hell yeah.
Divorce, cash out, help pay off some student loans, pay off debt, fix up a house, et cetera, et cetera. So HELOCs are popular because it's a way to, get money on a house that you have equity on. So that one's a great program because I have a lender that will not charge an appraisal fee.
There you go.
They do their own AVM, so that saves you money up front. And then there's no escrow and title fees. So that saves, borrowers quite a bit of money. But, I also work a lot. I'm a big believer, guys. I mean, if you don't kind of get that in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes talking to me, I'm a big verbal guy. I'm old school. I like to talk to people. Yep. We have the technology to text and email and it does it. You need to do that under right circumstances. But when you're dealing with borrowers and the biggest investment of their life, money-wise, you should know the loan officer. You shouldn't just be a loan number. And sometimes you get that with the banks.
Yeah.
So I'm big into getting to know my borrowers, knowing their situation, knowing their family, listening, not just talking like a lot of salespeople do, and finding out what their scenario is. Because I tell you, I've been doing this a long time. Every scenario is different. Borrowers always tell me they have, hey, my credit score is this. And then you run in, it's like, oh, it's not
it ain't that at all. Yeah. Right.
Oh,
right.
My house is worth 1.6 million. Oh, it's worth 1.2. So
yeah, right.
So you deal with a lot of things, and you know, to me, not just in business, but you know, verbal conversations are kind of a lost art these days.
Yeah,
and I think we need to get back to that as far as connecting with each other. So for me, business wise, it's important. I help a lot of first time home buyers, and you know, it's a scary proposition sometimes. So you got to hold their hand. You got to make them feel comfortable. And, you know, get them through the pre-qualification aspect of things.
Hey, Carlos, question on that, actually, since you're talking about buyers, you know, one question that we hear a lot, we get these emailed into us. Some of the listeners will say like, hey, ask Carlos this, ask Carlos that. What would you say, what's some good advice for our viewers and listeners as far as being a first-time buyer and getting qualified? Like what advice could you share on that front?
That's a great question. I would say the things that you really need to pay attention to. I've never understood why buyers like do the real estate side first and then the loan second. It should be the other way around. If you're not paying cash for a house, you need to get the loan in place. You need to have answers to questions. And so don't write an offer on a property, get it accepted, and now you have 17, 25, 30 days to close, because things come up. And sometimes they're hard to fix. Like if you have any issues with the IRS, hey, they don't cooperate right away. And we're here trying to scramble around and get things done. So have a plan, be able to understand and be very honest with your loan officer to let them know what your strengths and what your weaknesses are, so you can have a plan before you think about writing an offer on a property. And the other thing is you got to be comfortable with the payment. You know, sometimes people like, oh, I can qualify for 1.2 million. Yeah, but do you feel comfortable with the payment that comes with that? And that's where the conversations come into play. Specifically, Paulie, I would say, guys, before you buy a house, make sure, because they're going to collect bank statements for 2 months. They didn't used to ask that before the market crashed in 2008. When they're looking at your bank statements, they're looking at every transaction going in and going out. So clean that up, because if you're buying a house in May, if you're buying a house in May, for example, they're going to ask for April, they're going to ask for March bank statements. If you got like deposits of cash and this and that going in and out, they're going to want to know why, what this is. It's going to make you do a lot of work. So make sure the asset aspect of things are cleaned up. And obviously, you know, have your credit clean. You know, the higher your credit score is, the better rate you're going to get. I don't like these loan officers that quote a rate and they don't even know what the borrower is. You know, how much down payment are you putting? What's your credit score? That's irresponsible loan officer, in my opinion. So, you know, these are where the verbal conversations need to come in. But there's so many details. And hey, I love working with people and just getting them ready. Guys, sometimes people are not ready to do something right away. And that's okay. And that's why I help them, put them in a position to be ready. Maybe it might be weeks, maybe it might be months, but that's the process.
Well, this is great, man. And Carlos, listen, thank you, man, for giving us some time today, because usually we speak on your behalf and we'll continue to do that. But I thought there would be some value in just the listeners getting to see your face, hear your voice a little bit. And it was very helpful hearing you speak about your services. And also I can say this too, because Carlos and I talked about this a lot. He's very aware of how precious your time is. We're all busy now. I mean, Tony and I were talking before the show today, like, Jesus, we are so busy right now. Like, these days, it seems like there's not enough time in the day. Carlos knows that. So he has very fast closings, usually averaging about 8 days. So this is not going to be some long drawn out thing with Carlos. Hey, let me get back to you. He's very aware of your time and the value that's attached to it. So he will get you through the process in a speedy fashion. And Carlos, I just want to say thanks again, brother, for joining us today. Great talking to you. Great to see your face. And we'll see you on the 27th, and we'll be talking flex funding in the meantime with our audience. And have a great day, my brother. Thanks for coming on today, Los.
Yeah, Los.
Thank you, boys. I appreciate you. Can't wait to meet everybody on the 27th and down some chicken parms and some Longbridge pizza. Cannot wait.
That's what I'm talking about. There you go. 925-250-4894. That's our boy Carlos De La Fuente, everybody. Give him a shout. And if you want to inquire about selling a home or buying a home, rather, mortgages, HELOC loans, he is your guy. So get in touch. Los, we'll see you soon, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Los.
boys. Talk soon,
brother.
Yeah, man. Carlos, that was cool, man. See, I just want to Carlos is such a likable guy, dude, and he's so convincing and knowledgeable about everything. I thought today would be a good day to just introduce him. Dude, so thank you guys.
No question. And Paulie, it was a great idea to bring him on just so people, because I just wrote down a note while he was talking. That is such a huge life decision and moment.
Dude. Yeah,
tell me, right?
I know.
So you want to do it with somebody that you trust, somebody that you really want to spend a lot of time with and get to know, because you're sharing a lot of really personal stuff with this person. So that's why it's great to have him come on, so people get to get a taste of what his personality is actually like. Because again, we wouldn't partner with people that we didn't dig. So
real quick feedback. Here's some Los feedback, just hot off the presses, rolling up the thing. Jeff Winkler, Vin Carlos, Folsom Steve. He makes me trust him. Let's see. Don Peralta, trust Carlos. Los Steve, thank you, PMP. You're welcome, Los. Great to have you. Anyway, the audience has approved of Los, dude, and I knew he would fit right in. So,
dude, nice meeting you, Carlos Diesel. There's another one from.
Dude, once that guy said that, I saw it. I saw the Vin Diesel. Was that Escobar who said that? I think it was Escobar who said that.
It was. Escobar. Escobar the third, Paulie, by the way. I wanted to just, give love to the first and second Escobars.
I don't want there to be any confusion whatsoever. Let's make that clear. Escobar the third. Yeah. Same way Butler has Butler the third on his jersey. Have you noticed that, Jimmy? Butler the third. Yeah, not
that's
the
right.
second, the third. Yes. Yeah.
Is that for how many teams he's gone through in the last couple of years, or is that just
why you got to take shots on such a good day? Why you got to take shots? You know what I mean? He's our new hope. He's hoping a bottle, and now you're taking shots at him. Creative Tony, listen, we went kind of long with Carlos, so we're getting into the back end of the show. I'm going to leave this to you. We still got to go close in the attic. We have a choice. We could go Tony's top 3 and or bookmarks. Do we fit all that in? I'm asking you, the show's producer and the creative director. A lot of pressure on you now.
I like the challenge of a quick top 3 into bookmarks, into t-shirts, just to round out the show. Your thoughts?
I'm on board, brother. You call the shots. I play along. So you introduce them as you see fit. I'm ready to rock.
Tony's top 3. Tony's top 3. Tony's top 3.
Very well, Tony. Let's feed those ducks. I always, like I said to the audience, this brings up images of Mountain Lake Park on 10th and Lake Street in San Francisco. Used to bring my kids over there when they were little, splash around and all that. But there's a whole duck feeding scene that goes on at Mountain Lake Park. There are people there's old ladies that come in early in the morning, start throwing crumbs around. Dude, there's a flock of ducks that come out. So anyway, for me, I always have images of Mountain Lake Park. Great little nook in the city. If you haven't been there, go check it out. Tony, the floor is yours, my man.
Not a flock of seagulls, a flock of ducks.
Where do you stand on a flock of seagulls, by the way? The guy with the hair flopped over. Remember he had the hair hanging in his face? Yeah.
I never took a deep dive, but they were on the surface. They were fine. I never took. I was more like Thompson Twins, Depeche Mode, like Some Great Reward from Depeche Mode. I wore out that album as a kid.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
And I was Culture Club. If we're talking new wave pop,
I'll go double C. I'll go club with you. Sure.
Yeah. Sure. Paulie, I'll tumble for you if you really want.
Karma, chameleon. Karma chameleon, brother. Okay?
Karma chameleon, and time won't give me time. Remember that.
The jam of all jams. I'm not even kidding about this, dude. You want to rock? You throw on Church of the Poison Mind. That's a rock.
That's a great
in
song.
The Church of the Poison Mind. That's a good track, Tony. Yeah,
that's a great track. And Duran. I was also big into Duran at the time. Sorry, we're gonna be timely here with the top 3.
Sorry, it's first diversion. I know. Here we go, dude. First sidetrack. Sorry. You mentioned Duran. I've been meaning to say this all effing week long, and here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
The new season of White Lotus is underway. Rags and I talk about it all the time. He's locked in with his wife. I'm locked in too. I'm a White Lotus head. Season 2 is my favorite. In Sicily with Christopher, the sex addict, Multisanti.
Yeah,
bringing
so
the
good.
It's so good. In any case, season 3 is underway. They're in where the hell are they? They're in Thailand. And I got to say that one of the characters, Tony, this might encourage you to start watching. One of the characters on the show is Simon Le Bon's daughter.
Okay? Oh, that's right. That's
yes,
right.
Sir. Yes, sir. Now
dude, that's like how Bono's daughter is in Bad Sisters, that Irish show on Apple TV. Bono's daughter is one of the main characters in that show.
She's really beautiful, and she Bono's daughter, Eve, I think her name is. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but she's also in a great show that goes on Nantucket. There's a show on Netflix.
I saw it. Amazing. Amazing.
Perfect Couple. I think it's called Perfect Couple.
Saw it.
Liv Schreiber is like
smoking weed like a maniac, dude. Smoking weed like a maniac on that show,
and hitting golf balls into the ocean with a J in his mouth as he's just one of the darkest characters. I didn't know Liv had it in his world to be that kind of a dark character.
Me too. And maybe like Schreiber, like maybe more than I ever have before. He's got the heavy wool sweaters on. He's smoking weed. Yep. I'm like, dude, this is my boy right here.
Dude, and also shout out to the voiceover he does for the show Hard Knocks, by the way. Phenomenal work Liv Schreiber does on that show as well. Sorry, Paulie, we're getting sidetracked again.
I know, it's what happens. I know, but real quick, so you got Simon Le Bon's kid on White Lotus, and opposite her, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger's kid. I think his name's Patrick Schwarzenegger. He's on the show too. It's kind of this weird place we're in now, where that generation of stars, their kids are now becoming stars. So anyway, just a note on Duran Duran and Le Bon's daughter. Tony, go ahead with your top three. Sorry to interrupt.
Whose kid? Whose kid was it?
Well, I said it was Le Bon's daughter and Schwarzenegger's son.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
All day. All day with Governor Schwarzenegger. Don't forget, he was the governor of California for some time. I know. We would be lowering the prices and raising the economy and this and that. Dude, I kind of miss Arnie, to be honest with you, dude. I miss Schwarzenegger. Just give him press conferences.
When we get the soundboards, we're going to load the sound that I never gave you of Schwarzenegger at his home caressing his goat, I believe.
I've heard it. No, I've heard it. You've played it for me before. I've heard that. Look at the goat. Look at the beautiful goat. He's eating the pellets from my hand. And the goat's in his kitchen, by the way, right? The goat's just walking around in the kitchen. Yeah. Crazy scene over there.
There's one soundbite that I want to play there where it's just Arnold saying, "Oh yes, it's the yummies." And dude, that's all I want is, "Oh yes, it's the yummies."
That's fine. So you bring it on board whenever you're ready, brother.
Sorry. I had to stop feeding the ducks for a second to play Arnold. So we got to get back to the ducks.
Come on.
Just quick number one. We never really talked about it. Joey Bosa. Like we talked about John Lund last night in the night flight. Supposedly the reports were out that the Niners offered Bosa $10 million. No, they didn't. They offered him a much lower deal, supposedly with an incentive-laden deal. Bosa goes to Buffalo for much more. Are you upset that Bosa is not going to be a Niner? Are you happy he's not going to be a Niner? Are you indifferent?
I'm kind of indifferent on that one, to be honest with you. I wasn't like jumping up and down about the Bosa thing. Like, dude, can he play? Can he make a difference? That's the only thing I give a shit about at this point. Like, come to the Niners. If you can make an impact, the door's wide open. Please help us. But that is an area for me. See, I'm getting all wound up now. Everything was going so well. Now I'm getting acid reflux. But the 49er pass rush has to get it's got to get better. Like, it's got to get better. There's got to be more pressure on opposing quarterbacks. It simply wasn't there last year. And these are the, listen, you give any NFL quarterback time to stand in the pocket and look around, they're going to make something happen. And so, no, with Joey Bosa, listen, it would have been cute. Like Gary Radnich would say, the Bosa brothers. Nah, it's cute. It's really cute.
That's how I felt about it, Paulie, that it was just like a cute move.
We're getting into this, the Rodgers brothers and the Giants. It's like one set of brothers is enough. If he can play, great. The door's open. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to go 17 games. I would bet that he can't. He's had so many injuries, and he's generally having a hard time staying on the field. So I'm okay with it, Tony. I was indifferent. There you go. And
fine. That's fine. Let's not forget also that there's a lot of still really incredibly good players on the 49ers roster. Let's not forget that as well. And as Howard Jones once said, Paulie, things can only get better. Okay. So let's just go
Howard
with that
Jones
as well.
Also said no one is to blame, which is a great track. I love, you can look at the menu, but you just can't eat, Tony. You know what I'm saying?
He also said, don't try to live your life in one day. Okay, so
no, Jones had it all figured out back then. It was just whether or not you chose to listen. Jones had the answers.
Have you ever seen Live from Daryl's House with Howard Jones, with the Daryl Hall TV show that Daryl Hall is doing from his,
I haven't seen
barn?
that one. I haven't seen that one, but that's a great series. And I saw the Cheap Trick guys in his barn, and it was effing awesome. But no, I didn't see Howard Jones, but I'm a fan.
Check out, by the way, NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC says Hans Lufa over Joey Bosa. I couldn't agree more, dude.
Yeah, me too. By the way, don't forget at the end of the year when we do the first ever PMP Polymac Particle Award ceremony, the Hans Lufa trophy will be given out as like the it's like a lifetime achievement award. So it could be somebody in the audience, it could be an athlete, it could go any number of directions. So Hans Lufa will be immortalized. That was but that's later on in the year, Tony. Go ahead.
We have to think of an award for Lord Baldar as well. Think of an award for Lord Baldar as well.
I forgot about Lord Baldar. Lord Baldar approaches. I see thee. Yeah. I'm thinking goblets and shit like that. Yeah.
Dude, Monica Lopez, I got to give you mad love on the comment line. Howard Jones free concert, Union Square, 1995. I remember it well. That is phenomenal.
Are you serious?
Oh, Monica.
Free concert in Union Square?
Yes,
Monica
dude.
Lopez.
I remember there was another band that did another free concert. The Lightning Seeds or something another band. I'm like, I'm gonna walk a few blocks down from work and go see a free concert Union Square.
Tony,
let's go.
I gotta see now. I gotta sidetrack. I gotta hijack shit again. Now, why does that never happen in San Francisco? What happened to the great hub of musical activity that was San Francisco, where Tom Petty would say, you know what? I'm going to San Francisco. I'm going to play 30 shows at the Fillmore. Where you two would say, hey, free concert today in Justin Herman Plaza. Howard Jones, I'm gigging at Union Square, free. Like, why? And you just mentioned earlier the Smashing Pumpkins and the Beastie Boys, free show. Why doesn't that happen anymore, Tony? I'm blaming you. I need answers.
Man, it's just a different era, dude.
Yeah.
Everything is.
This era, it's a different era. It's a different era that's not as much fun as that era. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, okay. All right. Hey, can we get to number 2?
Sorry, it's my fault. No. I know, I'm being a pain in the ass. It's my fault. Yes.
Number 2, Kuminga returns tonight.
Yeah.
By the way, Chase Center. Okay, I think Paulie, you're going to be in the house.
I will.
I believe you'll be with Freestone Peach bass player. Freestone Peach's bass player Jeff Faust.
That's my boy.
Get yourself some Curry record setting. 4,000 3-pointers should happen tonight. No problem.
Could happen in the first 2 minutes of the game. I
was just going to say,
yeah,
that'd be funny if you could bet on when in the game it's going to happen. I would guess first quarter too.
I'll say second quarter. I'm going to stretch it out a little. I'll say second quarter.
All right. Okay. You're going to be when you think Steph's a little cold coming out. Okay. Or maybe trying too hard to get it off his back. Just get it over with. Kuminga's back though, dude. And I want to know how you feel about Kuminga. Obviously, we like Kuminga as an athlete, as a basketball player, and as a warrior. But, dude, there is a vibe. We're big on vibes here on Polymac Particles. There's a great vibe with the Dubs right now, and I'm very curious to see how they ease Kuminga back in. I'm curious to know how you feel about Kuminga's return tonight.
I'm excited. I mean, I haven't seen him. It feels like it's been months. It's been so long since I've seen him on the floor.
Yeah, mid-December.
I expect it's a great question. I don't know. I'm going to have to let it play out, Tony. I think his athleticism will carry him no matter how Kerr kind of integrates him tonight into the, I don't know. Is he going to start? Is he coming off the bench? I would guess he's coming off the bench. So, I'm very excited to have Kuminga back. I mean, again, it just brings a more explosive, athletic kind of sensibility to the floor that you're not getting without him on the floor. So it's going to be fun to watch him play alongside Jimmy Butler. We haven't even seen that yet. How's he going to play with Quentin Post? They didn't have a lot of minutes on the floor when he was still playing. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I think I think Kerr's going to have a good plan for him. So we'll see it tonight.
It'll be curious who takes a back seat for Kuminga, like whose minutes get sacrificed for Kuminga. It'll be very curious. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, that's why Steve Kerr gets paid the big bucks, dude, and his coaching staff. Maybe Ron Adams has a plan. Maybe it's up to Ron Adams. He's been just cooking up plans this whole time that Kuminga's been out.
It's funny you say that because like you said, I'll be at the game tonight with my buddy Jeff, and if I see Raymond Ritter before the game, I already texted Raymond. I go, dude, I'll be at the game. I'm gonna try to say hello. I'm gonna ask him tonight if we can get a Ron Adams hit. Because it's been a very long time. I haven't talked to Ron in about a year. I mean, we text once in a while, but I haven't talked to him on the phone or on the show. And I would love to get Ron. He's one of my favorite guys. Big basketball defensive genius. Passionate fan of poetry. Okay?
I was going to say, can we just ask Ron Adams to just read to us on the show? I would just like him to read like something from Shakespeare or maybe some Canterbury Tales or something, some Chaucer.
He's all about it. By the way, Harry Johnson checking in with a very specific request. Get him up there.
He did it twice, dude.
Yeah, he did it twice. So what does that mean? We doubling up? I don't know. Get him up there this week. Yeah,
Harry. By the way, hello, Harry Johnson. How are you?
Read his request, Tony.
I know. I'm going to give it to him right now because if you ask and you shall receive. Okay, so stand by, Harry Johnson.
I mean, he's a fan. You got it, buddy. Come on, Clint. You're an alpha beta. Boy. Yeah, it's great.
Here we go. There we go.
Hey, Harry, I hope that was good for you. The Omega Moos are requesting, and you got it. When the Moos ask, we receive, or we deliver, rather. And I got to say, Harry, one of my favorite lines of the entire film, Booger, you Moos sure can party. You Moos sure can party. Yeah.
Booger also said before the party got really raging, he pulled out a couple of Husky pencil spliffs out of his shirt, and he
Wonder
said,
Joints.
Hey guys,
yeah, Wonder Joints.
Wonder Joints.
Tony, quick question for you. Did you ever party with the equivalent of an Omega Moo back in your day?
Yeah, I partied with them all.
I did too.
You know,
I did
seriously.
too. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Okay,
dude. Yes, I was pro Omega Moo.
Me too.
I was pro Alpha Beta. I was pro Betty Childs, and I was pro Takashi and Wormser. You know what I mean? So let's just go.
Well, worms are for life. By the way, Monica Lopez, I want to address this real quick. Monica says every time they say they're going to play Tekashi, I keep thinking they're going to play Tekashi 69. And I'm like, isn't he in jail right now? Monica, that is an extremely high level comment you're making. I read a long piece about this kid Tekashi 69. Do you know about this kid, Tony? This gangster rap kid with
there should only be one Tekashi in the world, in my world. There's only one Tekashi.
Great point. And Monica, no, it's not Tekashi 69, but I read a long thing about this kid. He like posing as a gangster. They jailed his ass. He's got tattoos all over his face. Kid seems like a real piece of work. Tony, back to the top three, and I believe we are at number 3. So proceed.
Yeah, number 3. It's going back to you mentioned White Lotus, and I've seen the first 2 seasons. I haven't seen season 3 yet. I loved season 1 in Hawaii. I loved season 1, and season 2 was great too. So I'm excited for season 3. But you keep talking about a show, and it involves one of my an actor that I thoroughly enjoy, and John Goodman, and the show is Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
So my question for you for number 3, Paulie, if you had to give a homework assignment to the PMP Army here today, Thursday, what is it, March
13th.
12th? Or 13th, yeah, March 13th. If you could give a homework assignment to go White Lotus or Righteous Gemstones, which would you choose?
Okay, first of all, I love the question. Thank you for delivering such a great topic to the top 3 today. And first of all, both shows are phenomenal, but they're very different. I feel like I'm going to say Righteous Gemstones, and I'll tell you why. Because it feels like White Lotus has so much press and so much momentum right now. Like they don't need any help. They're becoming a juggernaut, kind of like The Sopranos, where every season is highly anticipated. It's a great idea. Like the whole concept is great. To just take this thing around the world to different scenery and settings, rather, and with different casts. I think you're muted, by the way, Tony. You got to unmute yourself. But Gemstones is a show I want more people to get turned on to. Yes, John Goodman is a character. Kevin McBride, it's his creation, dude. And he is an underrated comedy mind. Funny mother effer, dude. Kevin McBride is such a funny dude.
Is he related to Danny McBride?
Oh, it is Danny McBride. What was I saying? Kevin McBride? I don't even know. See, again, chromosome damage, too many dead shows. That happens. I mix names up all the time.
We give love to Danny McBride in Eastbound and Down and also Tropic Thunder. Go ahead.
I feel like such a jackass, but yes, it's Danny McBride, the very same guy. And it's his creation. He wrote it. He created the show. And they star as like this Southern megachurch family. They run this megachurch. Dude, it's out of control. Oh, by the way, one of the characters from White Lotus is also a huge character on Gemstones. That's Walton Goggins. That guy, he's another show unto himself. And then for the season premiere of Righteous Gemstones, out of nowhere, here comes Bradley Cooper. Now Bradley Cooper is on the show. He was funny as hell. So yeah, Tony, great question, but I would direct people to Righteous Gemstones because it's very, very funny, and I want more people to get turned on to it. So there you go.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'll probably dive into Gemstones because I love Danny McBride, man. He cracks my ass up.
Well, then you will love this show. You'll love it.
Did you see any Eastbound and Down? Did you see?
I watched the whole series. I watched the whole series.
Incredible,
dude. The 6-pack of beer on the field. You know what I mean? Or on the pitcher's mound. This big gut. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Incredible.
Hey, if I could give an honorable mention, I give a dark recommendation for the show Black Mirror last night. Another dark recommendation, or a twisted or a weird recommendation, is Severance, dude, on Apple TV. I just started that. It's like, whoa, this is going to be a wacky ride. So if you want to laugh, Righteous Gemstones. If you want to get dark, Black Mirror or Severance. How about that? So Paulie, that wraps up Tony's top 3 today.
Right.
I feel like we could do t-shirts. There's just like 2 bookmarks I'm going to get to. Just 2.
Sure.
Okay.
Go. Let's rock.
Utah, give me 2. So if you can like just well, actually
Utah, give me 2.
Dude, exactly.
Yeah.
Or
2 slices.
Right.
2 slices. Shout out Radio Raheem. Rest in peace. Yes.
And
Utah, give me 2. Thank you, Busey.
So let's get to bookmarks quick style.
It's time
Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to.
for bookmarks.
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
Well, I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
There we go. Party time is over, and Joy Boy is here to stay. So, Paulie, you gave a couple bookmarks, and I have one as well that I wanted to show you. We're just gonna start right here. I'm just gonna. Oh boy.
Yeah, do what you got to do, man. It's all good.
I know, but this is.
What's gonna happen? I don't know what you're doing.
Well, there it is, Paul.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ! No, I saw this. Yeah, there he is. Look at him.
I mean,
just gonna go for a walk on the beach with my blanket and make sure everybody can photograph me and talk about me. By the way, I looked at this photo earlier today. That's your boy Aaron Rodgers. But did you know he's already pissed off the entire city of Pittsburgh? I'm not kidding. Do you know about this?
No. Because, what do you do now?
Well, because Tomlin and the Steelers have expressed interest, and apparently Rodgers is dragging his feet. He won't, and the whole city's like, dude, let's go, free agency, we got to move on this. And anyway, he's already upset the entire city and Tomlin don't play that shit, man.
No,
you can't beat his individual ayahuasca, lion and rivers. That kind of bullshit ain't gonna fly with Coach Mikey Tomlin. Now, Tony, here's my question to you. He's contemplating God knows what. I mean, I don't know. Right. Contemplating the last time he talked to his family. I don't know. But if you enlarge that picture, you can see that he's wearing earbuds. So
yeah, I can see the white. I can see it. I can see it.
So my question to you is, what do you think he's listening to?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm guessing Tibetan monks chanting, or maybe like some didgeridoos with some Tibetan monks and maybe chimes. Like
new agey shit like that. Yeah, like
kind of a vibe.
Stuff you hear when you're getting like a massage, they play new age music. Tony, I think he's probably listening to his buddy on what's his buddy with the tank top? I can't place his name right now. With the on ESPN, they got McAfee. He's probably listening to like Pat McAfee show talking about Aaron Rodgers because he's such a narcissist. I think I'll just listen to people talk about me while I walk around the beach and contemplate my existence. You know what I mean? He's probably listening to previous hits he did on the McAfee show.
I have to check this picture. That better not be a robe, right? That better not be a robe.
I think it's a towel. I think it's more.
It is a towel. It is a towel. Okay, it is a towel.
It's a big ass
towel. Yeah. Okay. It's a towel. I was gonna say if it's a robe, then we're ending Roby Tuesday. If it's a robe,
Rodgers. All kidding aside, I know he's a huge talent. I know he some amazing. He really did. He's done some incredible things in his career. But I think it might be all kidding aside. Now he might be contemplating retirement, which I think is a legitimate thing for him to think about because you don't want to drag it on too long and then starting to have people remember you for being just like all washed up at the end of your career. He only got that one Super Bowl ring. We all thought he would probably win multiple rings. It never happened. It shows you how tough it is to do that. But I think that's got to be in his head right now, Tony. All kidding aside, I think he's got to be thinking, maybe, do I even want to do this again? And because if he doesn't play well, I don't know. Do you think it tarnishes his legacy, as it were?
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, he's not playing well as is. So it's like, I think he was a great talent. I mean, he's got a great mind for the game. But I could also see like him not going anywhere. And then when somebody goes down, somebody gets hurt, because you know what happens every year? A starter gets hurt, and all of a sudden they call Rodgers
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah.
Maybe he needs to go on like a week-long ayahuasca trip and film another miniseries and then come back onto somebody's team, Paulie, is my guess.
A week-long ayahuasca trip. That's a big commitment now. A week-long trip? I don't know.
Well, I think you can choose your length. I've been told is that you can choose how long you want to do it. How many times you'll imbibe the tea.
All right, man.
I think it's in tea form. Is what
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Well, it goes on in your neck of the woods, Paulie, out in the Merritt Headlands. Supposedly, is like one of the epicenters of ayahuasca trips. Supposedly.
Well, I haven't participated yet. I don't know if I'm gonna. I got my own concerns. I got enough going on as it is. I don't know if I need a week-long trip. You know what I mean? Imagine me showing up on a week-long ayahuasca journey with my laptop so I can do the show. Just like my eyes are like this. Hey, everybody. Yeah.
Right.
So Tony, okay, final bookmarks, and we got to wrap and dismiss the class on a Thursday.
Oh God. Okay. All right. I gotta show you this too. I gotta show you because this blew my mind. I saw this last night, and I was like, I gotta put this on the bookmarks.
Give it to
me. This is Seiya Suzuki taking batting practice with a samurai sword.
Nice.
Watch this with the samurai.
I love
sword.
this. Yeah,
fascinating. And listen to the sound. Also, listen.
Is he cutting the ball? Seriously, are the balls getting sliced in half?
Yes. Watch this. This is fascinating. Okay, samurai sword. Steps in the box.
Oh my God, dude. That's incredible. I love this.
And then it gets one of the guys.
Yeah, look at him. Oh, sorry. Look at him. Sorry about that, bro.
One more time. Incredible. Just listen to the sound. Listen to the sound, and then we'll be done. Second time through. Watch this. This is crazy.
Damn.
Is that outrageous, dude?
I love this.
I know it. I saw it. I was like, this is crazy. What an idea.
I got to tell you, I actually have seen this before, but it was in a Tarantino movie. If you remember Kill Bill, when Uma Thurman goes over to Japan to like train with the real samurais and get the, she gets that sword, that special sword, the Hanzu, whatever it's called. She goes over to Japan and she trains with the master. She gets that sword. And then the guy who's training her, or no, maybe it was the guy who made the sword. I haven't seen Kill Bill in a while, but the guy who made the sword, and they say it's like the hand of God. It's so sharp. If you look at this thing, you start bleeding. And
I bet.
He goes, do you like to play baseball? And he like throws a baseball at her, and she chops it right in half with the sword. You guys remember that? That was in Kill Bill. So I have seen it before, but that was obviously cinematic Tarantino trickery with cameras. That's some real shit. That's incredible. That's incredible. Just showed me.
And Robot Centaur, great call. Add that beautiful sound to the soundboard. I think you're right.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
I think you're right. Hey, last one, Paulie, and this will be quick. But last one. Yeah. Here we go. Beastie Boys, Tibetan Freedom Concert. And
she's wearing a Nuggets jersey.
Yes, dude. It's a Nuggets. I think it's an Abdur Rahim jersey from way back. But
I remember him. Yeah.
Stand by. I'm going to stop feeding the ducks for a second, and then I'm going to let the.
Look at the crowd. Yeah, see?
Yeah, look at that crowd.
Yeah, I missed that.
Look at it. Is that insane? Look at MCA, by the way. God bless.
God, rest in peace. Yeah. Rest in peace. Yeah. That was a cool cat right there. That guy, MCA. He was a real kid. Speaking of like Tibet, and he was like he hung with the Dalai Lama, for God's sakes. Like he was all in on the Tibetan monks and helping those guys out and stuff like that. Want to hear something true story? Last thing of the day, and this really happened. So leave that picture up there for that guy on the right. That's MCA. He was a Beastie Boy. He passed away some years ago from cancer. Really sad.
And he was 47, dude.
I hate it. I hate cancer's guts. We all do. But there on 4th Street in San Rafael, where I live, I go down. There is like a Tibetan clothing store down there, and I go down there sometimes, Tony. And I'm not kidding. I'll buy like incense. I'll buy like sometimes I do Christmas shopping in there, get some clothes for the girls, stuff like that. And I asked them one time. I just thought I'd try this out because the people that run the store, they're from Tibet. So I said, what is your awareness? I asked them one time around Christmas. I go, what's your awareness about the music group, the Beastie Boys? You've ever heard of the Beastie Boys? And there's a lovely couple from Tibet. They're like, in Tibet, MCA is like a folk hero. He is
no way.
Like, yes. They say to this day, he is so beloved. because of what he did to help the Tibetan monks that were being, I think, killed. I don't know all the details, but I think they were being abused and even killed.
Mm-hmm.
And he put his foot down and said, no more of this. And they did all these benefits, raised a lot of money, and helped those guys out. So isn't that cool, Tony? In Tibet, they really view him as like a hero. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That just warms my heart. And just a little more taste. Just look at that crowd.
That's the San Francisco I miss. Can I get back to that? Where are my free
Exactly.
shows at the Polo Field? Somebody help a brother out over here. I'm a music lover. I want some free shows.
Take me back to that concert, dude. So yes, that's the end of bookmarks, Paulie. T-shirts and we're out. I got yours, you got yours, and I got mine. Do you want me to go first? Or you want?
Well,
you go
I
first?
almost feel like we should maybe punt this tomorrow, and I'll tell you why. Because
we got a lot. We got a lot going tomorrow, dude. We got particle picks.
I know,
we got
but here's
we got Rod Brooks. We got.
Here's the problem.
I'm gonna make.
I'm just gonna say, I'm just gently throwing this on the table, and you guys can help me. Here's the thing. If I present my shirt right now, I think it's going to trigger so much conversation that the show's going to go on like another 30 minutes. And I'm serious. And I don't want to keep our listeners that long into the day. I want to dismiss the class so they can go to lunch. So just consider that. This could extend the show a great deal. And I'd rather do that tomorrow when we have more time. I'm just saying. How about this? Let's compromise.
Yeah.
Let's compromise.
Yeah.
You do your Close in the Attic presentation today. I'll do mine tomorrow. How about that?
Okay.
Split it right down the middle, like
By
that.
the way, when you start complaining about how much we have tomorrow, this is on you, dude. This is on you.
All right, well, I'll do it today if you really want me to, but it's gonna have to be quick, and I'm not gonna have time to get into like a lot of stories, which I'd love to do with this thing. Because wait till you see what I got for you. All right, fuck it, let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it right now. We're going. We're going.
By the way, Andrew sees my Keep Tahoe Bearable shirt. That's right. Keep Tahoe Bearable. Thank you, Andrew. Hope everything's wonderful up there. And go to Shady Side and get yourself a cocktail this weekend, Andrew, if you could. Paulie, this is my friend Chris Lafferty. She makes t-shirts for all of us fish heads that we go to their ranch in Colorado for when fish plays dicks. Dude, this is a t-shirt she made for us, and it's well, I'll show it to you first. Can you see the
I see
logo?
a Bigfoot at love or something like that.
So that's Chewbacca, and it's Wookiee at heart, because I'm a Wookiee at heart, buddy.
Are you?
So there it is.
Are you a Wookiee
at heart?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't grow out. I can't grow out dreadlocks. I can't do any of that, and I can't, but I am a Wookiee at heart because I like to get my Wook on when I go to the shows, buddy. So there's
Tony,
my
it's
shirt.
a cool shirt. Never seen it. We're all part Wookiee at the end of the day.
Yes.
I mean, I think all of us have a little bit of dreadlocked Wookiee spinning in us at the end of the day. Harry,
do you remember the website passedoutwookies.com? Do you remember that website?
Of course.
Passedoutwookies.com.
Passed out Wookiees on picnic tables, passed out Wookiees on the side of the road, passed out Wookiees in their seats at the show. No, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've done it all when it comes to I've been running with Wookiees since the late 80s, brother. So believe me, I've been there. Wookiees and I were one and the same. Even though I don't dress the part, it's what's inside that counts. All right, Tony, respect to your Wookiee shirt. My shirt was a shirt. Now I have to do a slight backstory. This one was sent to me. It was sent to me at KBR during the Murph and Mac days, where it was one of our listeners, and I have to apologize. I don't remember the name of the person who sent this. If you're out there, please do identify yourself, raise your hand so I can give you the proper love. Because the listeners have been so generous over the years. People would send stuff in and things get lost in the cracks. So this shirt it's one of my all-time favorites, and I cherish it so much. I try not to wear it. But Tony, may I present to you Motley Crue? Yeah. See what happens? Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Now I ain't done. So first off, the story is
one of my favorite album covers ever made.
Great album cover.
I love that album cover. Yeah.
That was the first Motley Crue tour that I saw. It was like the summer of my junior year going into my senior year in high school. And I went to Madison Square Garden and saw that show. It was a great show. By the way, that's when I saw that Japanese band Loudness, dude. Thunder in the East.
Nice.
They opened for Motley I got to tell you, back then, Motley Crue was a real kick-ass kind of hard rock band. Like I saw them on that tour. I saw them on Girls, Girls, Girls. And I saw them on Dr. Feelgood. And all three of those tours were really kick-ass rock shows. But Tony, best part is the back. I'm not done. Here comes the back.
God. Oh boy.
What is the back? Here we go.
Wow.
Dude, starring. Theater of Pain starring.
Wow. That's incredible. Dude.
How about it? Can you see that, T?
Yeah, absolutely. Front and center. Theater of Pain starring Tommy Lee McMars, Vince Neil, and Nikki Sixx. Man, dude. I wonder how Mick Mars is doing, by the way. I hope he's doing okay.
You know what? I got Mick Mars's back for life, dude.
Yeah,
I stand with Mick Mars. I really do.
Same,
I stand with Mick.
I hope he's doing okay. Me too. And dude, I loved that album and that I'm glad they put the cover art on the t-shirts because I loved that album cover. I had that as a flat on my wall. Because remember when you could just go Tony, buy record flats. Remember that?
Oh, totally. And you're right. It's a great album cover. Final word of the day. Thank you for hanging around for our Close in the Attic segment. I want to just give a final shout out to Carlos and Flex Funding on the way out the door. We'll see you tomorrow for a high noon broadcast with Rod Brooks. But again, I hope you enjoyed meeting Carlos today. He's a really good dude. Yes, he does look like Vin Diesel. It never occurred to me before, but I saw it today thanks to you guys. And again, we're talking about the trust that you need when you're dealing with a mortgage broker. You can trust Carlos, as evidenced today. He's a good guy. He's a stand-up guy with 26 years of experience. If you're on Apple Music or Spotify and you're not watching this, I don't blame you, but let me give you some contact info. Call Carlos at 925-250-4894 or nice and easy email address carlos@myflexnow.com. So if you need a loan, if you're interested in a HELOC loan against your mortgage, that's a home equity line of credit. He's the kind of guy you're going to want to talk to. He understands the dilemma. He understands the cost of living in the Bay Area. And you have to be able to trust your money lender, your mortgage broker, and you can trust Carlos. He does it. He's going to take care of you very quickly with no hidden fees, no appraisal fees, none of that nonsense. He's not looking to take advantage of anybody. He's simply looking to help you out and better your financial reality. And if you're in a jam, don't feel bad, dude. We've all been there. Listen, try putting 2 kids through college and like juggling a mortgage and all this other shit. Like, it's really difficult. I know. Yep. I've done it. I'm doing it right now. So don't get freaked out. Don't get overwhelmed. Just reach out to a professional and get some help. And that professional is Carlos de la Fuente at Flex Funding. Okay, Tony, final thing of the night.
Real quick, Paulie, that's what I just want to say. That's why I'm glad we had him on today, because people got to get a feel for Carlos. And he said a few times, I'm a people person. I like to interact with people. I don't want, yes, the initial phone call or email is how it begins, but then I'll get in person. Come meet me. Let's talk. Let's hang out, because it's such a huge life decision that Carlos wants to help you through. And you mentioned the word trust. And by the way, Don Peralta has been working on something about the Trust Carlos that we're going to work on for next week to present some more artwork from our art director, Don Peralta, for trusting Carlos.
Yeah.
Trust Carlos.
Yeah.
And Panaki, yes, Carlos killed it on the show today. You're right. And I hope you, for those that are around to watch Carlos, or if you missed it and you're just joining the show now, check it out on YouTube. You can go check out the whole show at Polymax Particles, and again on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Tune in. You can get the audio versions of the show.
Thank you,
Polymax Particles.
Thank you, Creative Tony. Ryan, final thing. Leah Phillips with an interesting note. I might miss tomorrow's show if I'm snowboarding in a bathing suit with Chelsea Handler.
Good for you. Spring skiing
in a bathing suit.
Yeah, well, that Chelsea Handler does that. Did she mention Chelsea Handler?
She did. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, because Chelsea Handler does that, and she'll film herself going down the mountain in a bathing suit.
All right.
And Chelsea talking her trash. So, Leah, you do that. I love that.
How about we take it one step farther? Let's introduce the first ever Polymac Particle outing up to Lake Tahoe, where we go. Tony, are you ready to go skinny skiing? That's start naked with your ski boots on. Wiping out.
We can all stay at Cozy's. We can all stay at our family cabin. We can all stay at Cozy's. How about that, Paulie? I'm
going to let everybody contemplate that. In the meantime, you guys have a great Thursday afternoon. Go Dubs. Go Steph Curry. Should be a good one tonight. Happy birthday to James. Happy birthday to Winks. Who am I forgetting? Happy birthday to Will Clark. And who was the other one, Tony? Yes. There was one more, I think.
Did you say the music might have muted you? Did you say happy birthday to Christian Rags? Did you say that?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Christian. I would like to say happy birthday to Christian Rags. Happy birthday to James McCaffrey. Happy birthday to Will Clark. Adam Clayton also.
Clayton, that was the one too. And don't forget Winks. Winks is in there too. Yeah.
Oh, Winks. And also, I know you and Winks and Rags, that you guys are all big Jack Harlow fans. He's 27 today, so I just want to make sure that you got that in there.
No, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for stopping by today. Great to see everybody. High noon tomorrow. Musical assignment. Songs about leaving. Songs about saying goodbye. As we watch half the Niner locker room seemingly walk out the door. Tony's already called his shot. Never say goodbye.
No, that's not my call. call. That's not my call. That was off the top of my head. That is not my call.
I just like doing that. It's fun to do it. Never say goodbye. All right, Tony.
You got to do the bye, yai.
You got no choice. You have to. Creative Tony, God bless you. Be good. Creative Tony, and I say peace, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow at high noon. Have a good day.